three interesting signs that you're spiritually gifted. You see, the universe always chooses the strongest and most powerful vessels to undergo a very powerful mission on this planet. Some people call it as callings. And one of the first signs you may notice is that you remember your dreams. You see, when you remember your alternate life in alternate dimension, there is a higher reason to why you remember those things. So if you remember very clearly, that's number one sign. The second sign is that you keep seeing repeated numbers. Your awareness around these repetition and the patterns and the signs of the universe that is brought to your attention, that means the universe is always guiding you. It's almost like an angel by your side, always working with you. And the third sign is your empathic skills. Always feel people's emotions. You feel what people are thinking and feeling and the emotions. This is for the greater mission of how you serve humanity moving forward.
Wow. Wow. Is that dreams tells us things? Repeated numbers tell us things? You yourself, people in the chat, do you see repeated numbers? Or is it just because you have a favorite number and that's just happened to be the number you see everywhere? You know, it seems like I see 13 everywhere. 13's always been my number. So it's hard to say. Can dreams tell us the future, the past, the present? You know, who knows? Who knows? I can't say. I don't have all the answers. I wish I do. So, guys, I know what the title is. There's something spiritual out there beyond our understanding. Now, I do got some videos. Now, some of these videos they're religious based, I guess you could say. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm religious. Because, you know, I'm not religious. Not to the point where I'm not saying I don't believe. I believe there are things that we can't understand. What they are is why we're here, right? Trying to understand, are miracles true? Or do we just make up the word miracle just to say when something happens, it's got to be a miracle? Or do we have a guardian angel? You know, it's questions that we don't have answers to. You know, myself growing up, and Bob, my brother, I think I seen him in the chat. You know, we had our grandpa was an actual minister. We had a grandpa that was a minister. Now we got to the age, he kind of retired, but my grandpa built furniture for churches. So myself, my brother, we used to tag along and go to him to churches and deliver furniture, you know, and so, and what's weird is never really went to, church on a regular basis, you know. I mean, I shouldn't even tell you guys this. I remember my brother and their friends, they actually handcuffed one of their friends at the church and left him there. But we did get baptized at a church. Got baptized. You know? Well, you know, Eric, why'd you get baptized if you're not really religious? Because I don't know, everybody else was doing it. I had nothing else to do. I was like, why is everybody getting dipped in the water? Looks cool. You get to get in a swimming pool and they say some words. And then somebody said, yeah, if you get baptized, you get a pass to heaven. Great. Awesome. So, you know, I got a free pass, you know? So, you know, there's that kind of a church, but I can't sit here and tell you that I'm religious because I'd be lying to you. I don't read Bibles and I don't go to church. Now, my brother, Robert Wood, who's not actually, he's an archaeologist, part of him had to read books. Hey, I think I saw somewhere we got a new member. Thank you for being a member. That's awesome. That's awesome. So part of archaeologists, Bob had to read several different Bibles. You know, so do miracles exist? that's a question. Have any of us, you guys in the chat and myself, have we witness miracles? I don't know. Now, where is this coming from? Why am I doing this on a Monday? Why am I doing this on a Monday where usually on Mondays now I'll be doing UFO Mondays? I'm a first-time grandfather. First time. And the whole experience has been, I would say, a miracle to me in a lot of ways. I'm not going to get into like heavy details. Let's just say in the beginning of the pregnancy, they found no kidneys. So, of course, with no kidneys, the baby can't survive. So for months and months with the testing they did, no kidneys. So I never talked about it on air because, we didn't know, no kidneys. I mean, it's just the worst case scenario, it's no kidneys. Well, what happened, guys? 2 months ago, they were doing another grand, whatever you want to call it. They found the kidney. They found one kidney developed. Baby can survive off a kidney. Friday, we got a baby girl. I mean, granddaughter, baby girl, survive with the kidney. I can't sit here and tell you guys a magical miracle happened there, but for months, it was gloom until 2 months ago. And, through the weekend, there were slight, some complications, but baby's good. We got to, my wife and I got to see the baby yesterday, and she's beautiful, and so was that a miracle? I don't know. It's, hey, listen, this is how I look at it. Say that's a miracle. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it. Whatever nature decided, I don't know, science, whatever, decided to say, you got a kidney. I'll take it. It's just, so it really makes you think that, can miracles happen? Was there things in your life that you're like, how am I even here today? You know what I mean? My grandpa, when I was growing up, he used to call me a miracle baby because mom crashed the car. I flew out of the car. I flew out of the car in a crash. And guess what? I survived. Is it luck how I felt? I don't know. I'm a baby. I really remember. I'm going off what my grandpa told me, stories, that I flew out of a car as a baby and I lived. I'm here today and lived. Is that a miracle? If it is, I accept. I accept. And then there was a time when I was a little kid. We were parked on the side of the road for the mountains. There was snow. My father told me not to go across the street, play in the snow. But, during that time, when he said that, I was technically deaf. Not completely deaf, but I was deaf. They say 70, 80%. So I didn't really hear him say, you can't go in that snow. So I got out of the car. Everybody was on the left doing whatever they're doing. I don't know exactly. I saw the snow. I started going across the street. A truck, not a car, a truck going downhill, hit the brakes, hit me. And I do remember flying through the air. I remember flying through the air. I remember losing my shoes, rolling on the road, and all I could think about is hitting that snow. Guess what? I played in the snow. No broken bones. I might have scratches and bruises. I can't exactly remember that part. It was a truck. Right here. It was a big truck. This was a big truck. It was not. It was a truck that had a trailer, like one of those truck trailers on top of it in the back. So was that a miracle? I don't know. Because, you start thinking about it. Well, a lot of people survive hits. I know that. But my God, no broken bones. I could have maybe had a concussion, but I'm sorry to say that our father, our family, you ain't going to a hospital or doctor unless you're dying on the deathbed. So I could have technically had a concussion. It wouldn't make sense today why I'm like this, right? Was that a miracle? Could be, right? My brother, one time in the mountains, was on a motorcycle with two other people, my uncle and my cousin that he's actually at the house with. They went off a cliff. A helicopter had to go down and pick up my uncle and his son, that's my cousin, and lift them up. And my uncle broke his neck, so they had to put a metal thing on him, because if he would have moved it in 1 inch or another, he would have died. Somehow, Bob fell on the side of the cliff, climbed up the cliff, and walked back to camp to tell people what happened. Was that a miracle? Was it a miracle that he was on the back seat of the motorcycle and somehow was able to get to the side of the cliff? I don't know. I seriously don't know. Yeah. He became Superman right there. Is that a miracle? Is there a guardian angel on that one? I don't know. And there's all weird times. There was a time that I was working on a job. I was a security person. I was driving my own vehicle. And I was driving Neil Ward and the infield poltergeist. There's going to be on the 27th. On the 27th, I think it's Apple TV. There's actually going to be a brand new documentary of the infield haunting. And what I've heard is it's a really good documentary. And I think it's going to be on Apple TV. So I'm just telling you that. So, a lot of streaming services do 7-day free trial. So all that. So going back to my story, I was driving. Somebody stole the car. It was dark. You had no headlights on. Smashed my whole side of the car. Smashed. Totaled my car. No broken bones. Nothing. Not really. Not even a scratch. Not even a scratch. I'm getting so close to these accidents. I should have something broken, but I don't. Oh, yeah. Here's a cool little story. If you guys want to hear. I was told to use my car for the security thing. It was God damn, what was the name of the security company? I know they sold themselves. Starts with a B, security company. B used to Bush Security, Bus Security. I don't remember exactly. Since the car was totaled, and I put the claim in insurance company, wouldn't cover it. They said you used it on the job. We're not going to cover it. You're going to have to file that with your company. All right. So I filed the car damage with the company. Oh, we don't cover that. You're supposed to have your own insurance with that kind of insurance. And I remember telling them, well, if that's the case, then shouldn't I have been told that I needed that kind of insurance for the car? Shouldn't I have been told? Well, so they didn't cover it. I sued in a small claims, and they agreed. So I won the first case, but they appealed it. So the second case, they get to have a lawyer. And I couldn't afford a lawyer. So I went in there against my boss and their lawyer. I don't remember exactly what happened. And I remember they asked me, do you have any questions for them? I go, yes. I remember asking them, in case if I'm supposed to have insurance on the car, shouldn't I have been told, shouldn't I had to sign something to say that I need to have my own coverage? And I remember the judge said, that's very good. And I can't remember exactly what they said. Yeah, and then the judge said he'll make its thing, and he'll let us know like in a week or so. I won that case. Now this is in California, so I'm sure. God, I'm trying to remember the name of the goddamn security company, because I'm sure it's somewhere in the court system, in the computer-based system, Eric Wood versus this company, which they're sold now, you'll see that I actually won. I actually created this company because the very following week, the company nationwide made every employee sign a paper to say if they use their car, they got to have their own car insurance. I'm the one who brought that. I can't. God, I wish I remember that court case, because I'm sure if somebody could look it up, my name, you'll see my name, and I actually won a court case against a lawyer. I should have became a lawyer. I actually won that case. But do miracles happen? Well, the first video I'm going to show is a miracle story about a girl in Texas who had brain cancer. Yes, again, a lot of these videos have a religious side of it. Religion or not, these things happen in the story. So let's hear this story about this girl who had brain cancer from Texas.
Riding on the back of a horse, doing what she loves.
She is just as active as she ever was.
It's hard to imagine not too long ago, doctors diagnosed this little girl, Roxley Doss, with an inoperable brain tumor called diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, or DIPG.
It is very rare.
So it's a brain cancer, and it's very rare that this girl had. That's a fact. There's no disputing that this girl had brain cancer, unless every hospital falsify paperwork. If they falsify it, we know for a fact that this girl had cancer.
But when we see it, it is a devastating disease. You have decreased ability to swallow, sometimes vision loss, decreased ability to talk, eventually difficulty with breathing.
Dr. Virginia Herod at Dell Children says the now 11-year-old went through weeks of radiation, even though there is no cure. In August, the family held a benefit for her, and the Buda community responded in a big way. At that point, all Gina and Scott Doss could do was pray for a miracle.
And we got it.
Yeah, we did.
For sure.
Praise God, we did.
Now they cry tears of joy.
It was actually unbelievable. The tumor is undetectable on an MRI scan, which is very unusual.
On the brainstem area, you've got, it's just all throughout. On the right side, it's you can't see it.
Doctors can't explain why
gone. Brain cancer, just gone. Gone.
Why the tumor disappeared.
Well, Dell Children's, at Texas Children's, at Dana-Farber, at Johns Hopkins, at MD Anderson all agreed it was DIPG.
From no cure to no trace, the family says now they only have God to thank.
And every day, I mean, we still say it. Like, it's just kind of our family thing that we're like, God healed Roxley.
We didn't know how.
Hey, listen, you don't have to be religious to say something magical happened. The cancer just disappeared. How? If you're in the religion world with God, help God, right? You know, or I know this is a little science fiction. I don't know. Something from outer space. Healed the girl. Something from the body, nature, science, no science. I know science fiction, alien, healing powers. God, somehow it went away. I mean, listen. I would thank whoever for my granddaughter to be here today that gave her a kidney. You know, I would thank who if God Himself came from it was me. Well, you know what? Praise you. If an alien comes out saying, I did it with my healing powers for you, I did it just for you, hell you. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, you take the miracle wherever it comes from, right? I mean, you do. You take the miracle. It's you know, these stories are amazing. I know people try to mix it with like too hardcore. Oh, religion. I hate when people say religion's not. I hate all that stuff because everybody should respect everybody's beliefs. And it's like, well, religion or not, she had cancer. Did a few radiation? Or did they have the right perfect mixture of that radiation somehow? I don't know. But she's saved. So what I'm trying to get is somehow miracles they happen. They happen. Listen, guys, there's another story that I'll tell you. I was in a cable truck driving on the road. It was raining. A metro bus hit a sliding, I don't know, fresh oil on the road when it first rains. You know what I mean? When it first rains, they tell you not to drive fast because you can slide. A metro bus slid, totaled my work truck. I'm driving a truck, metro. It takes a powerful hit to total a truck. They did some in the hospital. No broken bones. No scratches. I walked right out of it. And I wish I had the picture of it. If you saw the picture, the whole side on my side was totaled. But somehow, again, I got to walk away unharmed. Is that a miracle? You know, sometimes I tell myself, I must have 9 lives. I must have 9 lives. But it happened. Let me see here. I got a video, and I'm trying to remember why I picked it. It's called, Is There an Afterlife? Because could we find answers in the afterlife if we believe there's an afterlife? You know, because finding why miracles happen, if there are truly miracles, there's got to be a reason. And I guess that's what we're all here for, trying to find what is the reason for this. Can the answers be in the afterlife? I mean, we're all here. That's why we're all here. Let's check it out.
Most near-death experiences around the world talk about an increased sense of spirituality after a near-death experience, by which they mean roughly a sense of connectedness to other people, to nature, to the universe, to the divine.
Because a lot of people who have had near-death experience have experiences. I know science and stuff will say it's the electro in your brains, or maybe you're at the hospital and they're pumping a medicine. And listen, I'm not here saying that can't be true, because I just don't know. I just don't know. But there's a lot of these stories. I used to deliver wound vacs to hospitals, and I would hear these stories from these people, and I don't think you can explain everything with science. Science is only as good as of today, because in the next hour, the next day, the science could change. We learn things every single day. So when people say, well, science can't explain it, maybe not today, but maybe that science can explain it tomorrow, next year, 20 years. Science always evolves while we evolve. So that's why I always say you can't bank everything on science, because we only know what we know up to this date. We're always learning. Even mathematics cannot explain consciousness. That's a good point. That is a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. Some things you just can't explain. Let's hear more of this.
One of the questions that people often ask about near-death experience is whether they provide proof that we survived death. They don't provide proof for other people. They certainly provide proof for the experiencer, but not for the rest of us.
That makes good sense, because you who experience it are the one who's really gonna find truth in it, right? Because I mean, other people, it becomes a story to them. They're listening to what you're telling them, so of course it's going to be more truthful to you. It's just for the person who's hearing the story. A lot of times, I'm basing things off all the stories that I've heard, kind of put clues together, right? So that's a good point that he made there.
But there are some experiences that do provide something that's at least evidence, if not proof. And those are cases in which the experiencer encounters a deceased individual who was not known at the time to have died.
Guys, now listen to this story that he tells. Listen to this story right here. This is a very, let's just say, this is probably one of the closest to the truth about near-death experience than you're going to hear. So listen. If you want to turn this up, whatever you got to do, listen to this story.
One person that I know, Jack, was hospitalized in his mid-20s, and he had one nurse who worked with him every day. And one day she told him that she was going to be taking the long weekend off, and there'd be other nurses substituting for her. And while she was gone, he had another respiratory arrest where he had to be resuscitated. And during that arrest, he had a near-death experience in which he found himself in a beautiful pastoral scene, and there to his surprise was this nurse, Anita, walking towards him. And she said, "Jack, you can't stay here with me. You need to go back into your body. And I want you to find my parents and tell them that I love them and I'm sorry I wrecked the red MGB." He then woke up back in his body in his hospital bed. Tried to tell this to the first nurse who walked into his room. She got very upset and left the room in a hurry. It turned out that this nurse of his, Anita, had taken the weekend off to celebrate her birthday, and her parents had surprised her with the gift of a red MGB for her 21st birthday. She got very excited, jumped in the car, took off for a drive, lost control, crashed into a telephone pole, and died just a few hours before Jack's near-death experience. Now, there's no way he could have known.
How's that possible? Was this guy just lucky to? Now, I get to see the nurse maybe in your thoughts because she was your nurse while you're in the hospital. But to speak to her and she explains about the red car, that is luck. I mean, that's not a strong case that there's something there. You know, did he go, or did he time travel the past to see it? Did his mind travel? Did he leave the body, you know, somehow? But regardless, he's seen it. That's another percentage of the brain. I mean, I don't know. I wish, you know, I have answers. To let you know, there is more after, as he said he would. A display of psychic ability is no proof of God. Oh, I never said that this is related to religion. I never said that if you die, you're automatically going to heaven. I don't know. But I agree with you, Danny, that this shows some kind of ability of something. Seeing something that he should have known. Is it a psychic ability? Could be. Is there a guardian angel? Could be. I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, it's there's a mystery there. Jojo said, my dad visited me, so I know. See? And who am I to question Jojo that didn't happen? You know? Dad visited. Now, again, parents visiting doesn't exactly mean that the whole religion world of God is real. There's could be a lot of different reasons. But that's why we're here, right? Wanting to learn the reasons of all this. Is it because maybe guys, I'm just shooting out of the dark here. Maybe with the near-death experience, somehow you use part of the percentage of the brain that we're not supposed to use, and maybe that's what caused the psychic ability that Daddy brought up. That's a strong possibility right there. That somehow, that right before you die or something, something caused you to use part of the brain that we don't really use. Oh, I got to read this. I love Danny. I was married 3 times, so I know the devil is real. So there must be a God. You know, like I said, I don't crap on anybody's beliefs because we just don't know. At the end of the day, everything is a belief system. Just like us believing that somebody has certain abilities that we call mediums. I don't have those abilities. They say I do. I could do them. But I can't sit here and say I got abilities to the point where I know I'm a medium. I am not. You know, if we believe that some people have abilities like mediums, what is it? Are they able to process that part of the brain that most people can't? Could be. They have a guardian angel helping them? Could be. I don't know. Let's see what else this guy says.
Or expected that she was going to be dead, and certainly no way he could have known how she died, and yet he did. And that seems to be evidence that something about this nurse, Anita, still persisted after her death and was able to communicate accurate information to Jack. Does that mean we live forever? Not necessarily. It certainly means something about our minds can survive death of the body, at least for a time.
It's a good
Virtually
point.
every near-death experiencer that I've talked to has said without any doubt in their minds that we do continue after death. No matter how they describe their NDE, they describe having existed without their physical bodies, when their physical bodies were essentially dead, and yet they were feeling better than ever. There's got to be more to the world than just the physical realm to explain these events. I think the ultimate question raised by near-death experiences is, what are we as human beings? Are we just physical machines? Are we spiritual beings? Are we some amalgam of both? I don't know the answers, but now I'm much more comfortable with not having the answers. I think the important part of near-death experiences is what they tell us about this life we're in now, that
Guys, that's why we're here, right? That's why we're all here. We're just trying to understand things that we don't understand, right? Isn't that why we're here? Trying to understand things that we don't understand. And nobody knows, nobody has the correct answers because we just don't know. And to know that answer, unfortunately, we have to pass away for that. So those kind of answers, I guess, technically could wait. Twice I dreamed I was going to crash my car, and twice I crashed my car the same way. I had the dream for almost a month every night. Yeah. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? You know, energy. Yeah. They say we're energy, right? And if we're energy, where does our energy go? You know? Now, this might be a little bit more religion here, but hey, if we're going to dive into trying to understand something, we have to hear things from all sides. You have to. Regardless if you're not religious or not, you have to open your mind and listen to everything. You know, do we have guardian angels? You know what I mean? Do we have guardian angels? Was there a guardian angel when I flew out of the car that somehow stopped me from hitting the rock hard? Because they said I hit a rock too and I lived. Or pushed me a little bit in the car when it got totaled. And I'll tell you another story about myself. Another story. I was working on a cable job. As a cable guy, you got to get, we had 32-foot ladders because we got to be high in the pole. Well, I was in the alley, so the road was all concrete. I drew my ladder up. I climbed all the way to the top. And when you climb the top, what you do is you built off. Because if a cable wire breaks somewhere on the house, off the pole, it's like a slingshot because there's massive pressure. Well, I went to grab my belt. The cable snapped from the house. And I'm telling you guys right now that I saw the wire where my two hooks was on. You ever seen those movies like The Flash where you see things in a slow motion? I'm telling you right now, I saw the wire in a slow motion go away from the hook, went like this, and it went back, and there's a little silver screw square, that holds the hooks, went back, it got stuck to it. Boom. Boom. Otherwise, I remember seeing this in slow motion because if that wire did not catch, I would have flew back straight down on concrete. Don't know whether I would have survived. don't know. I would have been crippled. But I'm telling you, I seen that freaking wire bounce away and bounce back. And I tell you what, when I was climbing down that ladder, my heart felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I mean, my heart was going. Was that a miracle? Or a guardian angel? I don't know, but my God, I was freaking lucky. Somehow I was lucky. It's almost like there's a reason I'm supposed to be here. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like I'm supposed to be here for a reason. It's been here, hold on, see Duke. Hold on. It's been tough, but my daughter and I have been led down a different path of discovery. Yep. You probably had to change your pants. My God, I mean, it could be simple as fucking dumb luck. It could be dumb luck, but how to explain that? I've seen the wire like it was slow motion. You know what I mean? I don't know. Well, let's check out this video about guardian angels. Is that a possibility? Do we have a guardian angel? Let's check it out.
We have guardian angels. We're going to answer that question. You can also discover more on gotquestions.org. See that you do not look down on one of these little ones, for I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven. In the context, these little ones could
again, these part is religion. So if you're not religious, just remember, let's have an open mind. Let's listen to all possibilities. I am not here to push any religion on the people and stuff like that. I am not here for that. So just, if you're not religious, great. If you are, great. Let's just have an open mind and listen to all possibilities.
either apply to those who believe in him, or it could refer to the little children. This is the key passage regarding guardian angels. There is no doubt that good angels help protect, reveal information, guide, provide for, and minister to believers in general. The question is whether each person or each believer has an angel.
God save your life to others to get free cable TV. Well, during that time, I had the ability to get people free cable TV, like the movie Cable Guy. Maybe. Hey, listen. Hey, technically, I'm not saying I gave people free cable TV. Okay, I'm not saying. But if I did, what if I did? Some kid happened to be watching because of, in a dream, I gave somebody free cable and saw something that inspired them to be a doctor or save somebody else's life, a chain reaction, something that inspired them. You know what I mean? Never know, right? Right? Maybe I caused a chain reaction for something. I don't know. I would love it if somebody said, Eric, in your dream, when you gave that person free cable TV in your dream, that person ended up saving hundreds of lives because you inspired them to join the military, be a doctor, just because they watched something and they wouldn't have watched if you did not give them that free cable in your dream. Nowadays, to give somebody something free, it's called giving them your password.
assigned to him or her. In the Old Testament, the nation of Israel had the archangel Michael assigned to it, but scripture nowhere states that an angel is assigned to an individual. Angels were sometimes sent to individuals, but there is no mention of permanent assignment. The Jews fully developed the belief in guardian angels during the time between the Old Testament and New Testament periods. Some early church fathers believed that each person had not only a good angel assigned to him or her, but a demon as well. The belief in guardian angels.
Wow, that's interesting right there, right? Listen, Old Testament, New Testament, I am no expert in that world. That's my brother's. That's his thing. I couldn't tell you anything that's the main difference between Old Testament, New Testament. But it is interesting, right? On whatever that belief in there, that you have an guardian angel and an evil too. Wow. Would that be the reasoning for somebody getting possessed, because there's both? Oh my God. Oh my God, Danny Stanton. Only you would say that. That could have went the other way. Did you give Jeffrey Dahmer free cable and then he watched Texas Chainsaw stuff? Oh man. like I'm responsible of letting somebody see too much horror, and I caused them to be horror. Come on, Danny. This is positive show. This is a positive show. Don't make me out to be an evil person. Yes, I know we have guardian angels. I've seen various angels photos from other parents in my support group who lost kids. Yeah, I mean, see, Duke, who are we to question if they are not or not? We're still trying to understand life as it is now. You know what I mean? It's hard to understand life as it is now. It's, the struggles in life. We just don't know. And I'm sure if we all did know, we wouldn't be here, right? Watching me trying to figure it out. Positive, negative, good, and evil. Yep, you can't have one without the other. Unfortunately, you can't. You can't. I saw Jen in here. I want to say, Jen, I like the things you said with Pine Island Research and Nikki the other day. We all know that Jeff is a guardian angel for some people now. He's a guardian angel to protect us. So let's hear more of this.
Has been around for a long time, but there is no explicit scriptural basis for it. To return to Matthew 18:10, the word there is a collective pronoun in the Greek and refers to the fact that believers are served by angels in general. These angels are pictured as always watching the face of God, so as to hear his command to them to help a believer when it is needed. The angels in this passage do not seem to be guarding a person so much as being attentive to the Father in heaven. The active duty or oversight seems then to come more from God than from the angels, which makes perfect sense because God alone is omniscient. He sees every believer at every moment, and he alone knows when one of us needs the intervention of an angel.
I don't know. Is that true? I don't know. I want to know. I'll tell you that. I want to know. What if technically, little science fiction, my guardian angel that somehow I survive these things is from a little green, gray alien in space that has a connection with me or something. Or maybe somehow, in theory, that I have accessed another part of the brain that told me to move a certain way to survive some things? I don't know. I want to know, but I don't know. Here we go.
Because they are continually seeing his face, the angels are at his disposal to help one of his little ones. It cannot be emphatically answered from Scripture whether or not each believer has a guardian angel assigned to him or her, but as stated earlier, God does use angels in ministering to us. It is scriptural to say that he uses them as he uses us. That is, he in no way needs us or them to accomplish his purposes, but chooses to use us and them nevertheless. In the end, whether or not we have an angel assigned to protect us, we have an even greater assurance from God. If we are his children through faith in Christ, he works all things together for good, and Jesus Christ will never leave us or forsake.
Okay, that's enough of that one. Again, I am not pushing religion on nobody. I told you guys, I don't go to church. You know, I can't remember exact how the line is, right? It's one of the most perfect lines I have heard in a movie in a long time. It was in the John Wick 4 movie. When John Wick was sitting in the church and one of the person in there that at the time to kill him, you know, he said, John, I didn't think you believe in, I can't remember exactly how I said it. You believe in God or believe in this thing. And he said, I don't. Then he goes, then why are you here? Because what if I'm wrong? That is the most perfect answer that I ever heard. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? So what's wrong with taking a prayer or something you never done before? Or something, you know, like holding a cross. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever it is. Because what if you're wrong? You know, what if you're wrong? I love that. That's you know, I like to tell it to like everybody. You're a skeptic. You don't believe in ghosts. You're a skeptic. But what if you're wrong? What if they do exist? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What if ghosts exist? You know? What? I even got a video about could ghosts exist? You know, because if we believe that our energy can go somewhere, that's a belief that a lot of you have, that our energy does go somewhere, then the possibility of a ghost should be real. Let's take a look. Could ghosts be real?
Do you believe in ghosts? Stories about spirits, ghosts, and other ghouls haunting us after they die are about as old as humanity itself. And yet, to this day, people still debate. Are ghosts real, or are they all just frightening stories to tell around the fire? Let's find out in today's episode of
Colossal Mysteries.
People have been trying to find ways to communicate with spirits of the deceased for longer than humans have been recording history.
Guys, remember that. A lot of the stuff before recorded history. A lot of these things we think is just modern day, modern time. A lot of this stuff, ghost hunting, ghosts, miracles, was happening before recorded time. You guys got to remember that. Not everything has been recorded. Not everything. So what I'm just saying is a lot of these stories and we heard and stuff goes way beyond when religion started to be written down in a book, sculptures, that things have happened before writing has happened.
A seance can take different forms, but the goal is always the same. Communicate with ghosts. This is done with the help of a medium, someone who claims to be in contact with the dead. By the Victorian age in England and Europe, communicating with the dead had become its own lucrative market. At the time, it was popular for wealthy women to hold seances in their parlors with their friends. Across the pond in the United States, mediums cloaked in well-marketed mystery claim to speak to the dead as well.
And they're just explaining here that talking to the dead has become popular in a way where, especially with the rich people, because they have the money. Because poor people couldn't really pay for, these mediums. You know what I mean? Oh, whoa. Hold on. But ancient times, they believed the world was flat and we were at the center of the universe. Whoa. What happened? The world's not flat? When did that happen? Is that a Mandela effect? World's round? Damn. Wow. Damn, I gotta go back and read all my books. Love that.
Even then, there were plenty of skeptics who thought they were all just out to make a quick dime. And the evidence certainly seems to be in their favor.
And it is sad. It is sad, right? Because you do, the fakes ruins it for the people that are real. If you believe that there's people that have gifts, I personally believe there are people that can access certain parts of the brain that allows them to have these kind of gifts. That I'm more in the belief that they're able to access something in here to do that. But the people who don't ruin it for them. Because what happens is once you catch a fraud, a fake, you're almost like automatically putting that label on anybody else. And it's not fair. It's not fair. I always say that the people that are fake, sooner or later, they're going to get theirs. But it does suck that people fake things for money and stuff does ruin it for other people.
According to experts, many of the most popular methods for detecting spirits, like devices to record ghostly noises known as electric voice phenomena, are simply bunk science. So it would seem there's no compelling evidence to prove that ghosts are real. But it does still beg the question, if ghosts don't exist, why are there so many stories of sightings and hauntings?
That's true too. And they're not all fake stories. We know there's some people that do stretch the truth. We know that. But not all stories are fake. Can we explain every single one of them? Are we saying that every story is from a fraud? No, you can't. They're real people that have real experiences.
Why are many seemingly reasonable people convinced they've seen a ghost? Experts can't say for sure, but they do have several theories that could explain why so many people believe they've seen ghosts. An experiment.
Perfect. The fakers make our jobs harder, trying to prove that there is something out there. That's exactly what I've been saying. That it for the people who do real solid work, you get that label without even being caught doing anything wrong. And you're not doing anything wrong. But you're guilty by knowing a person, right? By knowing somebody, you're automatically guilty. Listen. Another little true story. My brother had to go to another kind of school than high school. Not saying why. How come? Did he get in trouble in school? That's up to my brother to tell you why he had to go to another kind of high school. That's up to him. Do you know what? Because he had to go there, did you guys know the school system made me sign a piece of paper that said if I miss or something, these kind of days that I would have to be, I will automatically be sent to the school. I was considered guilty before I even did anything. Oh yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I didn't want to say none of that stuff. That was up to you. I was considered guilty for him. I had to sign a paper, people. So I was already guilty. Never did a damn thing. Well, never got caught. I'll just say that.
From the 1980s hypothesized that some ghost sightings could be chalked up to electromagnetic fields. Test subjects wore helmets that were zapped with a magnetic field and found that 80% of them felt an unexplained presence in the room.
I swear to God, is this like Ghostbusters? I'm serious. Is that like Ghostbusters? Who the hell signs up? Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna put this silver thing on your head, and we're gonna put electric shots into your brain. My God, I wonder how much you got paid to get that done. Who the hell allowed themselves to get like electric shots? I'm not talking about like Ghostbusters where they shock you in the hand, right? But shocking you in the brain. Holy Christ. That person who volunteered for that, hey, I don't blame the doctors. If you get people wanting to do it and you want to experiment, I wonder what kind of paper you had to sign on that to get permission. Hey, we're going to shock you in the brain, but you're never allowed to sue us if we cause you to have brain damage.
Others think ghost sightings could be caused by carbon monoxide
Guilty
poisoning.
by association. Perfect, Mike. For some reason, I couldn't. My guardian angel wouldn't tell me that word. That is perfect.
Those being slowly poisoned by the odorless, colorless, deadly gas describe symptoms that sound a bit like a haunting. They can feel a pressure on their chest, strange whooshing sound, and have a paranoid sensation like they're being watched. Some blame hauntings in creaky old houses on toxic mold for the same reason as carbon monoxide. Certain toxic molds can cause symptoms that sound an awful lot like an encounter with a ghost, but
Hey, hold on. You know, I mean, yeah, there are some truths that mold and stuff like that can trigger some things. I mean, that's not false. But we can't blame that on all cases, right? What does this say? They put a hot wire to my head because of things I did and said. Little Dr. Seuss there.
even with an overwhelming lack of evidence, there will always be those who believe ghosts are real. And until science...
Well, that's because they are real. Listen. Take this with a grain of salt. I went to a hospital where my wife had to go. And I remember we're going to the elevator. The elevator's on the 3rd floor. It was the Polygram Hospital. Polyclinic. I don't know. Hospital. There's 4 floors. We're on the 3rd floor, and we had to go to the 2nd floor for some blood work. So we were standing in front of an elevator, pressed the down arrow. My wife was looking at her phone. I saw a guy who walked, red jacket. Red day. Red jacket. Saw the person, like this person was right in front of me. The arrow went up, said up arrow. I saw this guy go in. Elevator door shut. As soon as the elevator door shut, it opened and the arrow went from up to down. Oh. So I'm thinking, oh, somehow this guy just wants to go down. That's kind of rare because no matter what, usually elevators have to go up. We get in the elevator and this guy was gone. I was like, I made a short video of this as soon as I got home on this incident because it was fresh in my mind. It's on my channel somewhere. Guy was gone. I saw him light and day. And my wife goes, well, it probably went up and went back down. In less than 3 seconds, I saw this guy go in. Boom, boom, gone. It did not go up and back down in less than 3 to 5 seconds. It did not. And I saw this guy so clear as day. What the hell did I see? I was on no drugs. I was on nothing. What was that? What was that? You want to say energy? Yeah. You want to see I was somehow tricked? Could be. Could be. I don't know. I don't know. All I know that was strange. That was strange. All right, guys. I know it's 10:07, but I got one more video. Now, this might be considered more of a religion video again because we're talking about miracles, right? So, if you're not religious, again, let's just have an open mind. This one's called Are Miracles Possible? So, this is the last video today. We're going to talk about are miracles possible? And let's see how they explain that miracles are possible. Let's see.
Apologists. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions. Dr. Geiser, one thing that seems inescapable when we read the Bible is the fact that there are miracles that we see in the scriptures. Yet in today's scientific age, many people will say that, there's no such thing as miracles. That's the question I'd like to ask you. Are miracles possible?
Well, C.S. Lewis in his book Miracles, which is a good book to read on the topic, said, if God, then miracles. That's the bargain. Because if a God who can act exists, then there can be acts of God. If a supernatural being exists, then there can be supernatural acts. It just follows logically. So if the theistic God, if the God of Genesis 1:1 exists, who created the universe, and look at all the evidence we have that the universe had a beginning. The scientists are just falling over each other, showing, the Big Bang and expanding universe and Einstein's general theory of relativity, and all those arguments to show that at one time there was no time, no space, and no matter. And bang, we have the whole universe. If you can believe in the Big Bang, or if you can believe that life came spontaneously from non-life, which evolutionists and naturalists do, you already believe in miracles. And if the big miracle can occur, creating something from nothing, the little miracles can occur. No problem in turning water into wine if you can make water out of nothing. No problem multiplying loaves if you can make a loaf of bread out of nothing. So if the first verse of the Bible is true, every other verse is believable.
All right. I guess I understand to his point of view because, the Big Bang, the galaxy started. But how did that get started? Where did that come from? So I get all that. So basically what I'm learning a lot today is we all still just don't fucking know. We all just don't fucking know. We don't. We're all still puppets in this world, and we're just all learning. Again, I can't tell you if miracles has happened or not, but if they have, thank you. Who's ever doing the miracles? Is it God? Great. Aliens? Great. Guardian angels? Great. Whatever has caused a miracle, is it somehow another part of the brain that gets activated to save you on certain parts of it? Fantastic. Whatever it is, I accept miracles. Again, I'm blessed to be able to say I have a healthy granddaughter. It wasn't like that in the beginning of the pregnancy when there was no kidneys. 2 months ago, there's a kidney. You know what I mean? Is that just science? Probably. Is it a miracle? Probably. A guardian angel? Probably. An alien says, hey, Eric, we love you, man. We want your show to be happy and good, so we're going to give a kidney. Maybe. 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 I'm just happy to be alive. I'm just happy that things are a mystery. We just don't know. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine not knowing because we're here trying to figure it out. All of us, every single one of us. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care. I just want everybody to be happy. Whatever makes you happy, that's all I care about. Whatever makes you happy. That's the main thing. Now, if you're a murderer, that makes you happy. I'm sorry. You're a sick bastard. You need to go away. There are exceptions. Those people are the exception. Beyond that, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for every single one of you. And like I said, I want to thank every single one of you for being here today. I know it's kind of a different kind of a show Monday, but just what I've been through over the weekend, some individuals know there were up and downs. There were some up and downs. And just, every day that we get to do this, every day we get to do another show. If you want to call it a blessing, call it a blessing, whatever. It's, I'll be back tomorrow talking to you awesome people. I'll be here tomorrow, That's a blessing. And I just want what's best for everybody. And even myself, I get harsh on people. I do. I get angry too. I get angry at whistleblowers that are so-called whistleblowers that they're not whistleblowers and everybody's just doing things for money. I've done that, but you know what? At the end of the day, we all need to be positive, be healthy, and do miracles exist? Well, if I can explain it, then I guess it's a miracle. However that miracle got created, I'll accept it. I'll accept it. So take it exactly. So take a day at a time and a minute at a time. Stop, breathe, look at your surroundings. I told you guys, sometimes the best part of the Bigfoot investigations is not actually going out in the middle of the woods and trying to find it. You're sitting there in a chair, loving nature. Nature is the most beautiful, most powerful thing in the world. And if somehow me being here is from a guardian angel or something, of all the times that I should have had a broken leg, broken bones, crippled, should have died. I should have died as a baby when I flew out of the car and hit a rock. Should have. I was deaf. About 70-80%. I was deaf. Doctors were able to repair most of it so I can hear. Is that science? Thank God. Was that a miracle? Thank God. Was that an alien again who touched my head and say, Eric, you're going to hear. You might not hear 100% perfect because I don't hear 100% perfect. It's like everything on this side is high pitch. Everything on this side is like a bass sound. So, so it is what it is. I want to appreciate every single one of you guys for being here today. I hope you guys come back tomorrow. If you want to support the channel, you can. You can support it by PayPal if you want. There's a link there, links. Or another way to support the channel is, because I know a lot of us don't have money, share it out. share out the video. Say, hey, people, check out this channel. That is another way to support a channel, by sharing it out, putting the thumbs up, putting comments. That is a solid way of helping a channel out, by putting thumbs up and writing some nice stuff and sharing it out. Beyond that, I seriously, I know I say this a lot. I love every single one of you, and for whatever reason, I'm so happy. Thank God, thank Bigfoot, thank aliens, thank ghosts, spirits, energy, whatever is keeping me here. Thank you. Beyond that, I'll see you all on the Paranormal Highway.
So it almost helps you to adopt this attitude that you're walking through the world. The universe itself is trying to talk to you through everything that is here. Through posts on internet, through this person you meet randomly, through this teacher who is a mouthpiece for the universe, through whatever it is. It's like it's giving you, it's the universe itself that is giving you all this information through all of these venues. And usually when you think about it that way, and when you think about how to take those things and make them a part of your own toolbox, then you won't fall so much into this, I'm down here and therefore displacing my own boundaries, my own personal truth, my own feelings, thoughts, and whatever, for what this other person is saying. When most of us put somebody on a pedestal, there's no two people anymore. It's, I'm going to take my own personal truth and throw it away for your truth. And that is not something which any teacher who is in a position where they genuinely know what they're teaching about should be asking you to do. That's a recipe for disaster, honestly.